Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dragon King 72 Media, LLC. I will always say that regardless of the platform because that is my communications and media company. That's Dragon King 72 Media, LLC. So if you see that on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, that is my brand, regardless of what my page name says, because it's about branding. Today is December 17th, 2025, and it is about, 12:07 p.m. The weather's pretty decent here where I'm at, finally. Um, we know that y'all President Donald Trump, he is known for his ridiculous, insomniatic tweets. I don't know if that's a word, but it just became one as far as this narrative is concerned. He does these insomniatic tweets at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because clearly the president of the United States ain't got shit else to do but be a fuckhead. If I've offended any of you already, you can keep it fucking moving. We know that recently Rob Reiner and his wife were found murdered, according to their son, allegedly. Although all the evidence focuses on him. Give me a second. All the evidence is focused on their son having committed the two murders. They still have to, I believe, formally charge him because he has been arrested, from my understanding. And the gentleman has had mental health issues, as well as drug issues for a long time. And that was well known by the inner circle and those who knew of the gentleman who was going through that. So Rob Reiner, he's known for When Harry Meets Sally, that sitcom, and well, not sitcom, it was a movie, and Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, which I can definitely relate to, being former military. And he did a lot of wonderful movies that we all love, and he was known for that. Also, his classic role in All in the Family, and he was Michael, but Archie Bunker called him Meathead, and he was known for that for years. And I'm of the age where we saw the actual shows, not the reruns. So there's that. But so he passed away this week, and Donald Trump, we're going this way. Which way you want to go? Come on, we're gonna go this way. Donald Trump had tweeted out that basically he died. He wasn't a supporter of Donald Trump, and he wasn't. He was a staunch opposition person against Donald Trump and his administration, both terms, I believe. And Donald Trump mentioned all of that. Instead of having the decency, where we going? Instead of having the decency to tell this, to tweet a more consoling, a more sensitive type of response, he went somewhere else with it. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, Gregory, haven't you said things about Charlie Kirk? I tell you what, Charlie Kirk was not out here being a peaceful person. Where we going? Charlie Kirk was not out here being a peaceful person. He preached a lot of animosity, a lot of hate, a lot of division at these college campuses. And as I've said before, on these college campuses, what he was doing was strategic. What Charlie Kirk was doing was strategic. He was trying to divide the young minds before they had a chance to embrace each other's culture. And what better place to do it than at a university where people are experiencing other cultures for the first time by themselves without being manipulated by, family conversations. It's one thing to hear it in your own house about somebody from a different culture, but once you actually get out of that home and you see that what you were told is not a tenth of what, who this person is, then you realize that, you are truly an individual outside of how you grew up. But Charlie Kirk knew that. And, so there's that. But Donald Trump, they blame the leftists for not having enough support and sympathy for Erica Kirk, who, by the way, is some type of demon, by the way. I'm not religious, I'm not in the way you think. I'm not a Christian, a Baptist, a Lutheran, a Muslim, none of that. But, everything about her is screaming, very kind of, evil shit. As far as, I ain't talking about being a witch, because I don't have no problem with witches and spiritualists and nobody like that. But I think her whole demeanor is one of the world owes her something. We don't owe her shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't owe her shit. Her supporters are going to give her the sympathy she deserves, empathy from strangers, but that's about it. In this world, when somebody passes away, you keep fucking moving on. That's how we were taught. That's how the world moves. When somebody passes away, family or otherwise, you're going to mourn. You're going to continue to mourn all your life in a certain type of way, but the world keeps moving. And as my mother always says, time waits for no one. So we just gonna have to keep fucking moving. Because when Martin died, when Abraham Lincoln died, when John F. Kennedy died, when his brother died, what did we do? We kept on fucking moving. Medgar Evers, Emmett Till, as painful as all of that was, the world kept moving. The country kept moving. We had to. In order to survive. So that's just what it was. But Donald Trump took it upon himself to say the most evil and disgusting shit, saying that the man died of Trump derangement system. No, we're going this way. The man died of Trump derangement syndrome. First of all, nobody is that concerned about Donald Trump where they're going to be worried sick today. Get sick. That's just not, he don't have that much influence and power, at least not against the rational thinkers, because all his people that voted for him, they're completely insane. So he says all this most disgusting things, but the moment we were talking not that long ago, when Charlie Kirk passed, liberals weren't doing enough. So I guess it doesn't hold the same water if Trump is out here doing his shit and saying the things that he said. It's different. He gets a pass, but the liberals didn't get a pass. We were evil. We were unsympathetic. And a lot of people said a lot of vulgar stuff, but I mean, if you look at his supporters, these MAGA lunatics, they've said a lot more, about a lot more serious topic. But I guess because it's Trump and them, they get away with it, right? No, that's not how the shit works. But it is good to see that some people in this party are holding him accountable. Not enough, but still. And so, that's where we at in this world. But Donald Trump, I swear, it's just like, he's going to go down in history as the worst president we've ever had. That we've ever had. He has no morality. Not at all. Not at all, brother. Between his new foot soldiers, Nicki Minaj and Waka Flocka and who else? James Wood, although he did say, regardless of our politics, and he didn't agree with Rob Reiner, and Rob Reiner didn't agree with him, they still were good. They're friends to a certain degree. How that's possible with people supporting Trump, I have no idea. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.